धारे। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यामुनतीरवनचारे। यामुनतीरवनचारे। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव राधे। जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव। श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। Hare Krishna. So welcome dear devotees to this evening presentation on Bhakti in the Ramayana. This is the final presentation in the series of talks that I have been giving on Shri Ramayana. So welcome very much dear devotees. Thank you so much for kindly being present here today. And I'm very thankful to each and every one of you that you have kindly given me the most important resource of your life, there are two resources that usually every person has in his or her life. One is time and one is money. And those who gain money lose time, and those who gain time lose money. But between both these resources, there is one resource which cannot be renewed, which is limited in our lives. Which resource is limited, dear devotees? Time or money? Time. And you have kindly given me your time. So I'm very thankful for that. Thank you so much for kindly being present here today. I'm very grateful to each and every one of you. Dear devotees, before I begin the presentation, I'd like to offer Mangalacharan verses, Mangalacharan prayers. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So thank you so much once again, dear devotees, for kindly being present here today. I am so grateful that all of you are kindly present here today to listen to what I have to say about the topic of Bhakti in the Ramayana. And although there is so much description of Bhakti in the Ramayana that it is not possible to cover the entire subject matter in a time duration of 1.5 hours, but still I will select some characters from the Ramayana who have displayed exemplary bhakti in the Ramayana, and today I'll be selecting two characters and speaking about their bhakti that they have displayed in the Ramayana, and in their own words it will be shown. But before we begin, I'd like to start by a quote by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says something in the purport to Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 30, verse number 4. Srila Prabhupada says, it is said that Valmiki, the author of Ramayana, underwent meditational austerities for 60,000 years. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appreciated the austerities undergone by the Prachetas, and he finally appeared before them in a pleasing form. Thus they all became satisfied and forgot the austerities they underwent. In the material world, if one is successful after hard labor, he is very pleased. Similarly, the devotee forgets all his labors and austerities as soon as he contacts the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So dear devotees, in this particular purport, Srila Prabhupada is highlighting something very important, that after undergoing a lot of difficulties, somebody who attains the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that particular person immediately forgets about all the difficulty that they have undergone. In the Madhurya Kadambini, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur compares the sadhaka, the practicing devotee, to an elephant who is walking through a desert. Dear devotees, especially you don't find elephants in deserts, because elephant is not an animal of the desert. But if you imagine that an elephant would be put in the desert, an elephant has no storage system for water as camels have. So usually an elephant, if an elephant walks through a particular desert, the elephant will very quickly get tired and very quickly feel thirsty. Dear devotees, but still somehow if the elephant continues to walk and walk and walk, and finally one fine day a rain cloud of sweet rainwater appears over the head of the elephant and starts showering sweet water. Dear devotees, that is the feeling that a devotee finally gets after the devotee sees Shri Krishna face to face. This is the pleasure that Valmiki Muni had after 60,000 years of practicing tapas, austerity in the Valmik. Valmik, does anybody know what is the meaning of Valmik? Valmik refers to ant hill. And because this particular sage appeared from an ant hill, Valmik, therefore what was his name? Valmiki. So, because of practicing austerities to such a great extent that around his body ants had made a hill, so he became the one who arose from the ant hill. So he became Valmiki. That is the history behind Valmiki's austerity. And then he composed Shri Ramayana. And in Shri Ramayana, dear devotees, there are many examples of devotees. Can anybody name some of the prominent devotees who feature within the Ramayana? Yeah, Hanuman. Dear devotees, today is Hanuman's Avirbhav Divas. Today is the appearance day of Shri Hanuman. It is very important to understand that actually there is no date mentioned in Shastra for his appearance. But by local tradition, in most northern parts of India, today is considered to be Hanuman, not Jayanti. The term Jayanti is reserved for a very special day. Shri Jiva Goswami has said in the Sandarbhas that Naivam avatarantarasya kasyapi va anyasya janma divasam jayanti akhyaya ati prasiddham yatha Shri Krishnasya. That is what Shri Jiva Goswami says. Naivam avatarantarasya kasyapi anyasya janma divasam. The appearance day of no incarnation of Krishna or no other form of or no other deity is known by the name Jayanti. Only the appearance day of Shri Krishna is known as Jayanti. And that too, dear devotees, what is the name of the appearance day of Krishna? Can anybody tell me? So Janmashtami. Not all Janmashtamis are Jayantis. So in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is said, Ashtami Shukla Pakshasya Rohini Riksha Samyuta Bhavet Praushtapade Masi Jayanti Nama Sasmrita. Ashtami Shukla Pakshasya. In the Shukla Paksh, in the brilliant bright fortnight, on the day of Ashtami, on the 8th day, Rohini Riksha Samyuta, when the moon is aligned with the constellation named Rohini, Bhavet Praushtapade Masi, in the month of Bhadrapad, that particular tithi is known as Jayanti. Jayanti Nama Sasmrita. So, usually when Janmashtami arrives, every Janmashtami the moon is not aligned with Rohini constellation. So that is known as plain Janmashtami. But when Janmashtami arrives and the moon is aligned with which constellation? Rohini. So it is the same constellation that Shri Krishna appeared in. So that's a very special Janmashtami. And that Janmashtami becomes known by a special name. What name? Jayanti. So dear devotees, sometimes we say Balram Jayanti. That is not the version of the previous acharyas. Balram Purnima. What should we say? Balram Purnima. So today is not Hanuman Jayanti because is today the 8th day of the bright fortnight of the month of Bhadrapad? No. Is the moon aligned with the Rohini Nakshatra? No. So today's Tithi is not known as Jayanti. So in Shastras, Jayanti is a special technical name. And that technical name is reserved for appearance day of Shri Krishna. That too not all appearance day. Only specific appearance day in which the moon is aligned with the Rohini constellation. So I hope that is clear. Does anybody know, dear devotees, which particular day of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which particular day of the week was Shri Krishna born? Wednesday. So Shri Krishna appeared on Budhvar, Wednesday. So dear devotees, after many years, you may come across a very rare combination. That it is the appearance day of Krishna. And the moon is also aligned with Rohini. And it is also Wednesday. That Janmashtami is very special. That Jayanti is very special. And definitely Jayanti cannot be used for the appearance day of any political person, etc. It is not, they have stolen a term from Shastra and they are using it without any consideration for the glorification of people who do not share their birthdays with Shri Krishna. The original term belongs to Shri Krishna's appearance day, not to somebody else. Dear devotees, in Shri Ram Leela, one of the devotees who underwent a lot of difficulty in order to become a devotee is Shri Vibhishan. Because for all others, there was no dispute from the family side to become a devotee of Shri Ram. You see all the devotees in Shri Ramayana. Can you name a few devotees in Shri Ramayana? Bharat, Lakshman, they are family members. They are devoted to Ram. There is no, there is no resistance to them becoming a devotee. Anybody else? Vibhishan is immense resistance. Shabri, no resistance to becoming a devotee of Bhagwan. Jatayu, no resistance. You give up your life for Bhagwan, no problem. Sugriv, no resistance. Anyways, he was hiding on Rishyamukh Parvat. So he had no choice. He had to become friends with Bhagwan. Alright. Is there any person in the Ramayana who faced negativity from their family to become a devotee of Shri Ram? Only one. Who was that? Vibhishan. Vibhishan in essence represents his life represents the struggle that many of us have had when we have stayed with individuals in family who are averse to devotional service. Dear devotees, at one particular point of time when Shri Ram has made his entire army, has brought his entire army on the other side of the ocean, and there is a chance that he might cross over. Ravan is aware because Hanuman has already come and given a strong message to Ravan. And then Shri Ram is on the other side of the ocean. And dear devotees, at that particular point of time, Ravan and all his ministers, they start deliberating on what to do. At that particular point of time, there is a young boy named Meghnad. And Meghnad starts saying, Indrajit starts saying that, no, don't worry. Dear father, we will easily, that Vanavasi, that particular forest dweller, Ram, we will easily defeat. Don't worry. At that particular point of time, there is only one sane voice in the entire court. Whose voice is that? Vibhishan. Vibhishan says, please, I request all of you, don't fight a war on the side of adharma. You have made a very wrong choice by taking sides with adharma. And at this particular point of time, Vibhishan is humiliated by Ravan. This is what Ravan says to Vibhishan at that particular point of time. Please repeat after me. Yonyastvevam vidham bruya vakyam etan nishachara अस्मिन् मुहूर्ते न भवे त्वां तु धिक्कुलपांसना यो अन्यस्तु. If there would be anybody else, Vibhishan, evam vidham bruyat, if you would have spoken like this, vakyam etan nishachar, oh nishachar. Ravan calls his brother Nishachar. What is the meaning of Nishachar? Night dweller. Nisham charati iti nishachara. Those who wander around at night are known as what? Nishachar is a synonym for asur, because usually who keeps awake late night? So those who keep awake at late night and roam around on the streets, they are known as what? Nishachar. So if you see some people in India, I see sometimes some people at night 1 or 2 o'clock, they are roaming on the streets, and some people singing songs. So I know there is somebody on the streets. Who is on the streets? Nishachar. That person is called Nishachar. So dear devotees, Nishachar is a synonym for which term? Asur. So those who are asuras, they keep wandering on the streets in the night, and therefore they are called Nishachar. So Ravan is addressing Vibhishan here as Nishachar, because Vibhishan also belongs to which family? Asur family. So Vakyam etan Nishachara, O Asur, if anybody else would have spoken this sentence, Asmin muhurte na bhavet, he would have not survived this moment. Alas, you are belonging to my family, therefore I can't do anything to you. But Tvam tu, you are surviving. Dhik, fie upon you. In Hindi we say lanat hai tum pe. In sorry, not Hindi, Urdu. Lanat hai tum pe. In Hindi we say dhikkar hai tum pe. Kula pamsana, you blot on the family. Like this he insulted Vibhishan. So this is what he said. You are a black spot on the family, fie on you. If anyone else would have spoken these words of cowardice, he would not have remained alive till now. Dear devotees, many people surrender to Bhagavan out of many reasons. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given 4 types of people who surrender to him. Does anybody know what are the Sanskrit names of the 4 types of people who surrender to Krishna? Arto, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani. Out of these 4, Vibhishan became an example of the first type, Arto, because he was severely insulted by his family members. Dear devotees, at this point of time, Vibhishan also did not keep quiet. Vibhishan uttered a particular verse which has become a gold standard today, dear devotees, for judging who is a guru, who is not a guru, for judging who is a true family member, who is not a true family member. A very wonderful verse, dear devotees. Often this verse stokes some controversy, but this verse was originally recited by Vibhishan, and this is what Vibhishan said at this point of time. Gurorapyavaliptasya कार्यमजानतः उत्पथं प्रतिपन्नस्य परित्यागो विधीयते. Said Ravan, you are guru for me. Why is he a guru? What is the meaning of the term guru, dear devotees? Teacher. But any senior in the family is also known as what? Guru. Guru means heavy or bigger. So to Ravan, Vibhishan says, Gurorapi, even if somebody is a what? Guru. Avaliptasya. But if that person has become avalipta, very proud of his existence, karyam ajanatah, and does not know what is karya, what is akarya, and utpatham pratipannasya, and has started propounding some nonsense path in life, then there is one thing prescribed in Shastra. What is prescribed in Shastra? On the fourth line it is given. Parityago vidhiyate. One should give up on such a Guru Jana. Shri Jiva Goswami quotes this verse in the Bhakti Sandarbha. Because sometimes some disciple, poor disciple, falls in the trap of a guru who fits this qualification. Gurorapyavaliptasya karyam ajanatah utpatham pratipannasya parityago vidhiyate. It is advisable to give up on a senior who is avaliptasya, intoxicated with pride, karyam ajanatah, who does not know what should be done and what should not be done, or utpatham pratipannasya, or who prescribes an incorrect path in life. So dear devotees, even as Vaishnavas, we have family members who fit this criteria. How many of us have had family members who fit this criteria? Senior family members, but who have fit this criteria. Yeah. See, some of them are. I also have had some family members who, not immediate family, but some distant relatives who fit this criteria. I will tell you one example of a distant relative whom I met once. One particular time I went to a wedding. I was newly I had come to the Association of Devotees. This was in the year 2002. So one time I went to a family wedding, and in the family wedding, this particular elderly member came to me and said, I heard you have stopped eating onion and garlic. I said, yes, you have heard correct. Where is it specified in the Bhagavad Gita? Can you tell me? So that time only 1 year had passed. I said, I don't know, but my Prabhuji knows. He told me, said that there is nothing like this given in the Bhagavad Gita. So I became humiliated at that point of time. Immediate next day, I went to the temple and I met my senior devotee, and I said, Prabhuji, where is it given in Bhagavad Gita that one should not eat onion and garlic? So that Prabhuji is also perplexed. Actually, it is not given in the Bhagavad Gita. So I was dissatisfied. I said, I will find the answer somehow. So I tried to find where it is given. And then, very near to my place, there used to stay a Brahmin whose name was Vaishampayan, very learned scholar of the Rig Veda. So when I went to his home once, he passed away around the year 2005. So when I went to his home once, I asked him directly, Vaishampayan Guruji, where is it said that one should not eat onion and garlic. So he had big library of books. And usually all the Brahmanas, they keep one painting. He also had that painting. It's a painting of Parshuram holding an axe. It's a warning to all those who try to conspire against the Brahmanas. There's one person who's waiting for you. All right, if you conspire against the Brahmanas. Which person is waiting? Parshuram. So he had a big painting of Parshuram with an axe in his hand. And then I went and asked him. So he said, bring Manusmriti. I said, all right. There it, Manusmriti. Bring Manusmriti. So I bought Manusmriti. And then open 5th chapter. All right. And see the 5th verse. Read the 5th verse. So I read the 5th verse. Lashunam grinjanam chaiva palandum kavakani cha abhakshani dvijati amedya prabhavani cha. That time I memorized the verse, dear devotees, because it's a very useful resource. Lashunam, garlic. Grinjanam, carrot. Palandum, onions. Carrot. Oh, Brahmanas avoid carrot. Traditional Vaishnavas at Radhakund avoid carrot. All right, I don't want to stoke a new controversy here. All right, I'm specifying what is given in the verse. Lashunam, grinjanam, carrots. Palandum, onions. Kavakani, mushrooms. Abhakshyani, dvijati nam. These are forbidden for twice born people. And amedhya prabhavani cha, anything which is born in a dirty place. Recently I saw a news report that in order to increase production in some countries, they are using the waste material of animals to grow vegetables. Right? So they are not growing in soil, they are growing in the waste of animals. They are planting seed in the waste of animals and growing some plants like that. This is called amedhya prabhavani cha. And sometimes you see, outside in some places in India, they will grow some vegetables in sewage water. Sometimes amedhya prabhavani cha. All these are forbidden for twice born. I memorized the verse. Now I had a sword with me, dear devotees. Next time in a family function, I was waiting. So this relative came to me and said, are you still not avoiding onion garlic? I said, yes. But where is it given in Bhagavad Gita? Because our family is Brahmin family, I said to them, even though you are Brahmin, you don't know what is given in the Shastra. Don't you know what is given in the Manusmriti? Lashunam grinjanam chaiva palandum kavakani cha abhakshani dvijati amedhya prabhavani cha. So I used my weapon, dear devotees, on that day. I had memorized by that time. So then you flabbergasted. He's quoting a shlok from Manusmriti. And then I showed him, I translated word by word. And then he said, it is useless to argue with you. That usually that is what relatives say after. It is useless to argue with you. So, dear devotees, after a few days, the same relative came to me and said, because I was training with the brahmacharis, the same relative came to me and said, you see, I heard you are planning to join brahmachari ashram. I said, nothing like that, but I stay with the brahmacharis. He said, he was a little afraid that I may become a full-time devotee, a brahmachari. So he came to me and said, you see, first 25 years of life is which ashram? And after 25, you should compulsorily enter which ashram? So right now, he said, right now you are 24. Next year, you should enter which ashram? So that time I was ready. I said, that same Shastra says after 50, you should enter which ashram? Oh, 50 is too early. Panchashatam vanam vrajet. At 50, depart for the forest. That is what Shastra says. So then I said, we'll make an exchange offer. I'll enter Grihastha ashram on the day you enter Vanaprastha ashram. So dear devotees, Guru Rapyavaliptasya, many such people pretend to become Guru Janas. Oh, I am very experienced, I have seen life. But Karya Majanata, they don't know Shastra. Utpatham Pratipannasya, they will propagate any nonsense path in life. What to do with such Guru Janas? The fourth line says, what to do? Parityago vidhiyate. Mentally give up on them. So at this point of time, Vibhishan mentally gave up, and not only mentally gave up, dear devotees, Vibhishan took the strongest decision of his life to leave Lanka. Most of us, when we think Vibhishan left Lanka, we think, oh, so easy it is for Vibhishan. He just left Lanka and came to Ram. But it was not easy for Vibhishan to leave Lanka, dear devotees. Vibhishan had his wife and his sons in Lanka. To leave Lanka means to leave something behind. Your entire family and your children you have to leave behind. And dear devotees, once he has left, the news will spread in the kingdom that Vibhishan has left the kingdom. And a person who has left the kingdom, if he comes back, will he have any self-respect remaining in the country? But Vibhishan doesn't even know if he will be accepted on the other side. So with uncertainty in his mind, Vibhishan actually quits Lanka. And Vibhishan ends up going to Shri Ram. Dear devotees, Vibhishan's final words to Ravan were as follows. Please repeat after me. Tanmarshayatu yachoktam Gurutvadhitamicchata Gurutvadhitamicchata Atmanam sarvatha raksha Purim chemam sarakshasam Swastitestu gamishyami Sukhi bhavamaya vina Tan marshayatu yacha oktam. Ravan, marshayatu, please forgive yacha oktam, whatever I spoke to you. Please forgive what I spoke to you. Dear devotees, it is very important at this point of time what Vibhishan said to Ravan. Please forgive what I said to you because you felt bad because of what I said. But whatever Vibhishan had spoken, was it the truth or not the truth? Truth. Still he is asking for forgiveness from Ravan. Please forgive whatever I said. What is the reason, dear devotees? When we are breaking ties with somebody, we should not break ties with them as an enemy. It's a very important policy demonstrated at this point of time by Vibhishan. Because if we break ties with somebody as an enemy, we have not really broken ties. I hope you are able to understand. Tomorrow, if Ravan happens to see Vibhishan, Ravan should not consider Vibhishan as a dreaded enemy. Ravan may see Vibhishan as somebody who has run away. But he should not see Vibhishan as a what? Enemy, who is supposed to be killed. So therefore he said to Ravan, Marshayatu yachoktam. Please forgive what I said. Why did I say Gurutvad Dhitam Ichchata? I spoke loudly because Ichchata, I was desiring Hitam, your benefit. But if you felt bad about it, please excuse whatever I said. Now Ravan, I only tell you one thing. Atmanam sarvatha raksha. You should protect yourself by all means. Purim cha imam sarakshasam, and protect this Lanka Puri, this entire country of Lanka, along with the Rakshasas, along with the demons. Swasti testu, all auspiciousness to you. O Ravan, all auspiciousness to you. Gamishyami, I will now go. Sukhi bhava maya vina. Now become happy without me. This is the final sentence that Vibhishan said to Ravan. Very important strategic thinking. Because he could have gone by saying, Ravan, die now. Ram is going to come and put an arrow through your chest. And when you will die, then you will know that your brother was saying something. I hope you are able to understand. Huh? If he would have left like this, then during the war, all the army of Ravan would have especially hunted one person. Which person, dear devotees? Vibhishan. And therefore, this is a very important reminder of something, dear devotees. A devotee has a particular character. There are 26 qualities of a devotee. Does anybody know what are the first two qualities? In the Bhagavatam, there are 26 qualities of a devotee mentioned. All right. So, the first and most important quality is Kripalu. Second is Akrita Droha. Please repeat after me. Kripalu, Akrita Droha. Third quality, Satyasara. Fourth quality, Sama. Let's see if these four qualities are present in Vibhishan. Kripalu. Is Vibhishan merciful even towards Ravan? Yes or no? Akrita Droha. Somebody who does not purposely create enmity. Does Vibhishan have this quality in him? Yes. Satyasar. His essence is to speak the truth. Yes? In Sama. In happiness or distress, he is equipoised. So, Kripalur Akrita Droha. Akrita Droha is one of the most important qualities of a devotee. A devotee does not purposely make enemies. Does not make enemies. There are some exceptions to this, dear devotees. Sometimes a devotee may make an enemy if it is directly required for the sake of service to Bhagavan. For example, when Hanuman left Lanka, he could have left quietly. But he did not leave quietly. Hanuman did not follow the policy of Vibhishan. What did Hanuman do? His purpose was to make enemies with Ravan when he came to Lanka. And the species in which he was born is the perfect species to create enemies, because monkeys are not friends with any species of animals, dear devotees. If you have you seen any species of animals who are friends with monkeys? Nahin na? So jati, by birth, monkeys are like that. They are not friends with anybody. And then Hanuman showed his nature, because his birth was in that particular jati. He showed his nature, and then he set fire to the entire Lanka, because it was required for seva of Bhagavan at that particular point of time. Hanuman wanted to give a strong warning to Ravan that the person whom you just met was not just a monkey. If required, he alone can handle the entire situation. But Ravan had to be given a good lesson. Therefore, Hanuman behaved like an enemy. But Vibhishan is a relative. And when relatives are breaking off ties, because see, no relationship is permanent. But when relatives are breaking off ties, you should break off ties in a manner that even if you have to take the humble position when breaking off ties, it is advisable to do so. It is very much advisable to do so. Why? Because actually a tie is not broken if you end on, in an angry mood. So this is what Vibhishan said to Ravan. Ravan, I always desired your welfare. Out of this desire, I advised you. However, you should forgive me now for giving you such advice. Now you should protect yourself and this Lanka of yours along with all the demons, all auspiciousness unto you. I will now depart from here. Be happy without me. The final word of Vibhishan. Sukhi bhava maya vina. Without me, what should you be? Sukhi. This is the, and he was not saying sarcastically, yeah? Be happy without. Now I'll see how you be happy with it. Not, this is not the mood. Be happy without me. With this mood, Vibhishan quit his family. On that same day, Vibhishan has to quit his wife. On the same day, Vibhishan has to quit his sons. So Vibhishan is not simply leaving behind Ravan. Vibhishan is leaving behind his own family members. And this is not an easy thing to do, dear devotees. It is very, very difficult. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Durjara Geha Shrinkhala. Durjara Geha Shrinkhala means it is so difficult to break the ties of household life. It's very, very difficult to break the ties of household life. Why is it so difficult to break the ties of household life? In the 7th canto, Prahlad Maharaj specifies something. It's very important for all householders to listen. Katham priyaya anukampitaya sangam rahasyam ruchiramscha mantran suhritsu tatsnehasita shishunam kalaksharanam anurakta chitta putra smaransta duhitra hridaya bhratrin svasrva pitarau cha dino grihan manogyo ruparichadamscha vrittischa kulyaha pashuvritya vargan त्यजेत कोशस्कृतिवेह मानः कर्माणि लोभादवितृप्त कामः औपस्थ्य जैवं बहुमन्यमानः कथं विरज्येत दुरंत मोह. Prahlad Maharaj says, Katham priyaya anukampitaya, how can I forget? Priyaya anukampitaya sangam rahasyam, the sweet words that were spoken between me and my wife in private. How can I ever forget? Ruchiramscha mantran, and the sweet advice that she used to give me. And how can she forget the sweet advice and words that I used to give her? Suhritsu tat prema sitah shishunam kalaksharanam, and how can I forget the sweet broken words of my children when they were small? Can I ever forget those sweet words? Anurakta chitta, my heart is immensely attached. Putran smaransta, if it is a mother, the mother is usually very attached to the son. Duhitra hridaya, and if it is the father is usually very attached to the daughter. Bhratrin, and how can I forget my brothers who helped me in times of distress? Swashruva, my in-laws. Pitarau cha dinau, and when I look at the poor faces of my parents, they still need me. Grihan manogya uru parichadamsha, forget about these living entities. I can't even forget the furniture in my house. Parichadamsha. I can't forget furniture in my house. There I placed my sofa. That was my place of sitting. This is my bed. This is my room. Or in the bedroom, this is my side of the bed. That is your side of the bed. This is my side. Usually this is what happens. And Pashu Bhritya Vargan. And all those dear pets whom I named so dearly. Everybody, I gave them a name. Tyajeta koshas kridiveha manah. How can I give up? Karmani lobha avitripta kamaha. I am avitripta kamaha. How can a householder give up? His desires are not yet satisfied. Katham. So how is it possible? Duranta moha. This moha, this infatuation towards household life is very difficult to give up. Dear devotees, Vibhishan knew on that particular day that we think Vibhishan only has to give up Ravan. But we don't understand that Vibhishan doesn't have to give up only Ravan. Vibhishan has to give up all of these things. Dear devotees, I'd like to ask you a question. Can we imagine a day when we will give up our home? It's a very important question. And give up means really give up. Carrying only 2 or 3 sets of cloth and nothing else. And you have to go away from your home forever, never return back. Usually when we travel somewhere, let's say we want to travel for 7 days, we pack a suitcase, And now you are not traveling temporarily. You can't come back to your home. How many of us will be mentally prepared to give up our home? Please raise our hands. Oh wow, we have one sadhvi in the assembly. Wonderful. Mataji, easier said than done, huh? But when at the actual time for quitting comes, at that time it is very, very difficult. Also, you give up children. Also give up everything. Oh wow, look at the lofty philosophy, huh? Yeah, definitely it is true. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. No, they give up on us. We don't give up on. We never give up on our children. Ask the householders how much suffering they have endured when their children have grown up and gone away from the nest. The householders never give up on the children. It's the children who say we want our space. So dear devotees, Vibhishan quit at this particular point of time and approached Bhagwan Ram. And it is not, Vibhishan took a few members of Ravan's assembly, some servants of Ravan's assembly along with him. And dear devotees, Vibhishan demonstrated all 6 limbs of surrender at this point of time towards Shri Ram. Because this is Bhakti within Shri Ramayana. The 6 limbs of Sharanagati are mentioned by Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamritam. Kindly repeat after me. Anukulyasya sankalpa Pratikulyasya varjanam Rakshishyatiti vishwaso Goptritve varanam tatha Atma nikshepa karpanye Shadvidha sharanagati. Now please hear about the 6 limbs of complete surrender. And please tell me if Vibhishan had these 6 limbs intact or not. Anukulyasya sankalpaha. Sankalpa, taking a vow for doing what is favorable for one's bhakti. Is this limb of Sharanagati present in Vibhishan? Yes. He is doing what is favorable for his devotion. Pratikulyasya varjanam, avoiding anyone and anybody who is unfavorable towards your bhakti. Is this limb of Sharanagati present in Vibhishan? Yes. Rakshishyati iti vishwaso, the faith that my Bhagavan will definitely protect me. Yes. Goptritve varnam tatha, and not only will he protect me, he will also maintain me. Atma nikshepa, and complete surrender of all of one's possessions unto the Supreme Lord. Is this present in Vibhishan? Yes. Karpanye, and humility. Because many people give up everything and then they make a bada show about it. Recently I saw one very rich couple in Gujarat. They, multi-millionaire couple, they decided to become a monk. For some reason they decided to become a monk. And before they decided to become a monk, they threw a big lavish grand ceremony. That this is our final ceremony before we become a monk. And so everybody was invited. And there was a big celebration that before they become a monk, this is their last day of, you know, royal householder life. From tomorrow onwards, they are going to become monks. So, dear devotees, this is Karpanya is required. Karpanya is humility. What is humility? How Vibhishan left. Did he leave by, announcing in Lanka, Suno, Suno, Suno. I, the great Vibhishan, the only devotee in Lanka, have today decided to leave everything and go away. Everybody sing my glories. So, dear devotees, this is not how one should quit. Because many times people, as soon as they quit everything, they immediately develop that bhav of aham, that I am the biggest renunciant. Oh Bhagwan, is there any devotee greater than me? See, I gave up so much for you. So karpanya is required. The required humility should be there. Ki Bhagwan, I gave up, but actually I gave up what was unwanted. Therefore, there is nothing great in me. Shadvidha. These are the 6 types of Sharanagati. Are all 6 present in Vibhishan, dear devotees? Yes. So this is the translation. The 6 divisions of surrender are Anukulyasya Sankalpa, acceptance of those things favorable to Bhakti. Pratikulyasya Varjanam, rejection of unfavorable things. Rakshishyati iti Vishwaso, the conviction that Krishna will give protection. Goptritve Varanam Tatha, and the acceptance of Lord as one's guardian or master. Atma Nikshepa, full self-surrender. And Karpanya, humility. These are the 6 limbs of Sharanagati. These were fully present in Vibhishan at this point of time. So, dear devotees, once these 6 limbs were present in Vibhishan, Vibhishan approached Shri Ram. And when Vibhishan approached Shri Ram, Vibhishan was very tall figure, much taller than the monkeys. And he came with his 3 or 4 demon associates just to drop him off. They came to see him off. And when the monkeys saw in the air that there is a tall personality coming and he is coming from that side, they understood who is coming. Nishachar is coming. Because he came at night anyways. Nishachars come at night. So Nishachar is coming. And when all of them went to Shri Ram and said, see, it is not niti. It is not advisable to meet anybody from the enemy camp unless they have come as a doot. Doot means messenger. And then they asked Vibhishan, what do you want? He said, I have come to surrender myself to Shri Ram. I want to take shelter of him. So they went to Shri Ram and said, this person seems to be some trick of the enemy who has come. But he says he wants to surrender unto you. At this particular time, Shri Ram said a verse. This verse is an immortal verse in the Ramayana. Dear devotees, this verse is so popular and it is so significant, uttered by Shri Ram, that it is one of the highlights of Shri Ramayana. Please repeat after me. Mitra bhavena sampraptam na tyajeyam kathanchana dosho yadyapi tasya syat satame tad agarhitam. Mitra bhavena sampraptam. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Shri Radha Nil Madhav Ji ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki. Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki Jai. So dear devotees, Mitra Bhavena Sampraptam. If anybody has come with Mitra Bhav, what is the meaning of Mitra Bhav? A mood of friendship. Nat tyajeyam kathanchana. I will never give up on this person at any point of time. Dosho yadyapi tasya syat. What is his fault? His fault is that he is coming from the other side. And he is born in a family of Nishachar, demons. That is his fault. His birth is his fault. Even if he has a fault, still I will accept him as he is. Satam etad agar hitam. This is the path of life shown by the previous sadhus. If anybody has come with a mitra bhav and a genuine feeling of friendship, I will not give up on him. I genuinely have the feeling, Shri Ram said, that this person has come out of friendship. Why? Because he has given up everything, every possession that he has in Lanka, and he has nowhere to go behind. These people who have come with him, they will also depart, and only he will stay here, and he promises to stay here permanently. Mitra bhavena sampraptam na tyajayam kathanchana. Dear devotees, if Shri Ram at this point of time says to Vibhishan, return back to your home, there will be a big problem. Can anybody tell me what will be a big problem if Shri Ram says at this point of time that return back to your home? Yes. Right. So he will not be accepted back. Alright. Dear devotees, in this world, the material world is known as samsar. What is material world known as? And family life is also known as samsar. You might be knowing. Material world is also known as samsar, and family life is also known as what? Samsar. Both are known as samsar. We say ghar samsar. So samsar also refers to what? Family life. If Bhagavan says to Vibhishan, return back to your samsar now, there is a big problem. What is the problem? The problem is that what Bhagavan had said in the Shastras, that anybody who surrenders once unto me never has to return back to samsar, material world, ever again. That statement of the scriptures will be flouted at this point of time, dear devotees. Bhagavan knows I cannot speak against my own Shastra. Anybody who surrenders to Bhagavan, does that person ever have to return back to samsar? No. So how can Bhagavan say to Vibhishan, return back to samsar? That is not possible, dear devotees. Bhagavan will never say return back to samsar. But the same Bhagavan, when he appeared as Shri Krishna and he called the gopis in the middle of the night, and when they came in the middle of the night, what did he say? Go back where? What is the Sanskrit term for home? Go back to your samsar. Only the gopis forced Bhagavan to break his own word in Shastra, dear devotees. It's only the gopis who have that level of love that Bhagavan can feel confident enough in testing them and saying return back to your samsar. Anybody else would be heartbroken. If Bhagavan would have told Vibhishan return back to samsar, Vibhishan knows he is Satyavadi, he is a jhuta nahi hai, he is not a liar. So really he will mean it. If Bhagavan Ram says return back, it really means return back. But Krishna waise nahi hai. Krishna liar number one, dear devotees. If Krishna says return back to your samsar, it means don't take him seriously. I hope you are able to understand. There's a big difference between the character of Shri Ram and Shri Krishna. Shri Ram's character you can directly imitate. Don't imitate Krishna's character. We say don't try this at home. Right? That is for Shri Krishna. So dear devotees, still we love Shri Krishna very much because he lies constantly. This is his nature. Imperfections are his perfection, dear devotees. For Shri Ram, perfection is his perfection. But for Shri Krishna, imperfection is his perfection, dear devotees. So this is what Shri Ram said. Anyone who has come to me with a mood of friendship cannot be given up by me at any point of time. Even if such a person has some fault. This is the spotless policy. Satam etad agarhitam. Spotless policy of saintly souls. So this is what Shri Ram said at this point of time. And Shri Ram also said another verse he uttered. Because people started saying, Arey, what do we know? He might be enemy. He might have come from the camp of Ravan. Shri Ram said, please repeat after me. Anayainam Harishreshtha Dattam Asya Bhayam Maya Vibhishano va Sugriva Yadiva Ravana Swayam Anaya Enam, bring him here to me. Hari Shrestha. What is the meaning of Hari? Monkey. One of the meanings of the term Hari is what? Monkey. Right? Hari Shrestha. Oh, greatest of monkeys, Sugriv. Bring him here. Dattam Asya Abhayam Maya. I have given him fearlessness. He is Abhay. I have given him Abhay. Sugriv, Vibhishanova. You are saying he might be enemy. He is Vibhishan. But Yadiva Ravana Swayam. Even if Ravan himself has come, bring him here. Today I am willing to give Abhay to anybody who has come with a mood of surrender. This is Bhagwan Ram, dear devotees. So, greatest amongst monkeys. Oh, Sugriv, please bring him to me. I have given him fearlessness. It doesn't matter if he is Vibhishan or Ravan himself has come. Even if Ravan himself has come, I will give fearlessness unto him. So, dear devotees, this is something which only and only Bhagwan Ram can do. Alright? Because Bhagwan Ram knows who is truly come as a friend and who has truly not come as a friend. So, sometimes we may try to follow Ramayana Niti, but we should be a little careful. This is not Treta Yuga. Unfortunately, we are in which Yuga? Therefore, for handling those crooked people of Kali Yuga, Vyasdev knew that I have to write another Itihas. And which Itihas did Vyasdev write? Mahabharat. And that Mahabharat is very good for dealing with people of Kali Yuga. Very good. Because it has all sorts of crooked people in it. People who will lie on their face, people who are not truthful. In earlier days, people had some morals, some standards, even if they are from a demon family. There's some morals and some standards. Nowadays, people don't have those standards. So, dear devotees, therefore, Vyasadeva knew people of Kali Yuga, if they follow Ramayana as it is, although you can imitate the character of Lord Ram, you may fall into difficulty in this age because the people whom you are dealing with are not exactly like Vibhishan. Sometimes an enemy may come pretending to be a friend. So then Mahabharata says you should test them, dear devotees. What should we do? Test them. So that is Mahabharata and this is Ramayana. So this is for people who are Arya. Arya means they are well behaved in nature. Mahabharata can handle any type of person. Even if the worst cheater comes, Mahabharata will have a verse to handle such a person. But still, this is Shri Ram's Udar Niti, broad-hearted policy in order to accept Vibhishan. Such are the qualities of Ram, dear devotees. A very nice verse is there. Please repeat after me. This verse is from by the poet Jayadev. This Jayadev is different from Jayadev Goswami. Jayadev Goswami appeared in the eastern part of India. There was another Jayadev Kavi who appeared in the western part of India in Maharashtra. He wrote a beautiful drama called as Prasanna Raghav. Prasanna Raghav Natakam. In Prasanna Raghav, he composes a beautiful verse for Shri Ram. And this verse is in the meter Shikharini. I'll try to sing. Please repeat after me. Svasuktinam patram ragutilakam kalayatam Kavinam kodosha satuguna gananam avaguna. Such are the qualities of Ram. Swasuktinam patram raghu tilakam ekam. All the poets, when they decide, whom should we glorify? Whom should we offer choicest words of glorification? They find only one person. Which person? Ram. Raghu Tilakam, the brilliant tilak on the forehead of the Raghu dynasty. Who is the brilliant forehead on the tilak on the forehead of the Raghu dynasty? Ram. See what a brilliant name he has given to Bhagwan Ram. Raghu Tilak. Raghu Tilakam Ekam. Only one person is worthy of the poet's glorification. The poets cannot find another person. Kalayatam, understand this fact. अच्छा मतलब poets must be biased. नहीं. Jaydev says, Kavi naam ko dosh hai. Are, why are you putting a fault on the poets? Satu guna gana naam avaguna. What a beautiful phrase. He says, it is the fault of the qualities of Shri Ram, dear devotees. It is not the fault of the poets. It is the fault of the qualities of Shri Ram. That all of them have decided to reside exclusively in one person to their fullest extent. And which person have they decided to reside in? Bhagwan Ram. So whose fault is it? Is it the poet's fault or is the qualities' fault? Bolo? Qualities. But do qualities have faults? Jayadev is the first person who faulted the qualities, dear devotees. So very wonderful poet. Jayadev is Somyaji Brahman family from Maharashtra and wrote Prasanna Raghavam and another book called as Chandralok. Chandralok became such a famous book. Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan ended up writing a commentary on it, and Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan studied his poetics through this Jayadev's book, Chandralok. So this is the translation. The great poets of the world select Shri Ram as the exclusive object of their choicest poetry. What is the fault of these poets? It is actually the fault of the good qualities of Shri Ram. It is the fault of the good qualities of Shri Ram, that they rejected all other places of residence and selected only Shri Ram as their desired place of residence. So this is why Vibhishan is also attracted to Shri Ram, and Vibhishan surrenders unto Shri Ram. Dear devotees, at this point of time, there's a very nice verse which expresses the mood of Vibhishan. This verse is in a very special meter, Viyogini. I'll try to sing it. Please repeat after me. Aigarta mukhe gata shishu Aigarta mukhe gata shishu Pathikenapi javan nivaryate Pathikenapi javan nivaryate Janakena patan bhavarnave Janakena patan bhavarnave Nanivarye bhavata katham vibho Nanivarye bhavata katham vibho. Have we heard this meter before, dear devotees? Any other verse which has this meter? It is very common. Every day we are singing. Please repeat after me. Nayanam galadashrudharaya Vadanam gadgadaruddhaya gira Pulakarnichitam vapukada Tava nama grahane bhavishyati. This is Viyogini Chand. In my childhood, my Sanskrit teacher Vishnu Kant sir, he taught how to sing Viyogini. Very difficult to sing meter. It's called Viyogini Chand. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's there's one more verse in Shiksha Ashtakam which is of this particular meter. And yesterday also I sang a verse from Madhavendra Puri. Aidina dayardra nath hai mathuranath kadavalokya se. So it's very sweet meter, Viyogini. So what is Vibhishan's prayer at this point of time? It is expressed in a verse by a poet. Aigarta mukhe gata shishu pathikena pijavan nivaryate. Bhagwan, I want to ask you a question. Bhagwan, have you seen, people who walk on the streets, pathika, common people who walk on the street? Dear devotees, all of you, you know, almost daily sometimes might be walking on the street. You are pathikas. When you are walking on the street, you are known as pathika. If a pathika, a person walking on the street, sees garta mukhe gata shishu, that on the side of the street in a ditch, a small child has fallen, what will you do? Leave it and walk ahead? What will you do, dear devotees? Pick it up, na? Javan nivaryate. Javat means very quickly. Even although that street person walking on the street has no connection to that shishu, to that child, still that person will rescue the child immediately. Janakena patan bhavarnave nanivarye bhavata katham vibho. Now all the shastras say that you are the father of all the living entities. And I am fallen in this ocean of material existence for so long. And you are appearing one incarnation after other incarnation. You are walking on the pathway of the material world, Bhagwan. Abhi tak till now, why have you not done anything for me, Bhagwan? Tell me. Are you so cruel-hearted that you neglected me till now? So, this is the heart of Vibhishan that is being expressed by a wonderful prayer. This is the translation. It's from a text named Karuna Lahiri. Oh Lord, even if an unknown child is seen to be fallen somewhere in a ditch on the roadside, any person walking on the street will immediately rescue that child. Now, you are not just some unknown person, you are my father. Why don't you deliver your own child fallen in the ocean of material existence? It's a very wonderful verse which expresses the mood of Vibhishan at this particular point of time. Dear devotees, Vibhishan had to undergo distress in order to become a devotee. But there was one personality who did not have to undergo any distress or any particular condition in order to become a devotee, because he is devotee in his very existence. He does not become a devotee. He is devotee, dear devotees. Today is his appearance day, and today is Shri Hanuman Janmotsav. Dear devotees, in northern part of India, today is celebrated as Hanuman Janmotsav. Hanuman is celebrated by Shri Rupa Goswami. His dedication is celebrated by Rupa Goswami. Because when Shri Rupa Goswami in Padyavali wants to list the 9 processes of devotional service, how many of us know by heart what are the 9 processes of devotional service? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, not Sakhyam. Sakhyam, alright? With a short we'll correct ourselves. It is not Sakhyam. What is it? Sakhyam. And finally, what is it? Atma Nivedanam. These are the 9 processes of devotional service. Rupa Goswami wants to find the most ideal devotee for each of these processes. So, Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikshida Bhavat. For Shravan, who was the perfect devotee? Vaiyasaki Kirtane, the son of Vyasdev, became the most perfect for Kirtan. Who is the son of Vyasdev? Prahlad Smarane. And who became for Smaran? Tadangri Bhajane Lakshmi. For Pada Sevanam, who became the most perfect? Prithu Pujane. For Archan, Prithu Maharaj, who offered the entire earth as offering to Bhagwan. Akrurastva Bhivandane, who became the ideal devotee for Vandana. Kapipatir Dasye, in Dasya, the lord of the monkeys. Who is that, dear devotees? Sakhyarjuna, and in friendship, who became Sarvasvatma Nivedane Balirabhut, and in Atma Nivedan, who became the ideal devotee? So, dear devotees, when Sri Rupa Goswami wanted to find an example for Dasya, he could not find the highest example in Krishna Lila. The highest example of Dasya was found in which Lila? Shri Ram Lila. So dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami very respectfully quotes a verse from Shri Hanuman in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. This verse is where Hanuman rejects liberation. A very nice verse. Please repeat after me. Bhava bandha chide tasyai sprihayamina muktaye Bhavan prabhur aham dasa iti yatra vilupyate. Hanuman prayed to Bhagwan Ram, dear devotees, and this sentence is recorded by Sri Rupa Goswami in the Padyavali and in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Sprihayami na muktaye. I don't want to get liberated. Bhagwan, I don't want any liberation. Bhava bandha chide. I don't want my material life to end. So Hanuman, why don't you want liberation and why don't you want your material life to end? He says, because I have heard of this impersonal liberation, where Bhavan Prabhur Aham Dasa, this feeling that you are the master and I am the servant, iti yatra vilupyate, this feeling is destroyed in impersonal liberation. Because in impersonal liberation, the sadhaka, the practitioner, becomes one with the impersonal Brahman, and therefore the feeling of master and servant is destroyed. I don't want any such liberation, dear devotees. So this is what he says. I do not pray for that liberation where the distinction of you being the master and me being the servant is lost forever. Dear devotees, it's a very important point. I'd like to conclude at this particular point. What is so special about Sri Hanuman? After all the devotees of Shri Ram have left for Ayodhya, there is one particular personality who is still present on this planet. One particular devotee has stayed back. Which devotee has stayed back? And he has stayed back. He could have composed great literatures in so many thousands of years. But he has stayed back without the desire for name, fame or anything. He could have easily written a Ramayana which could have surpassed Valmiki's. But Hanuman ji decided not to do that. Dear devotees, Sri Hanuman does not want anything special for himself. In fact, he has also rejected liberation. How many of us can say that I do not want to go back home, back to Godhead? Anybody here who says I don't want to go back home, back to Godhead? Don't want to go. You want to go? Oh my. So that desire has been rejected by Sri Hanuman. He says, I do not want to go back home, back to Godhead. Especially, I do not want that type of liberation where Bhagwan and me merge into one another and the feeling of servant and master is lost. So, dear devotees, liberation is rejected in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the second verse. Dharmaha projjita kaitavotra paramo. The desire for liberation is rejected in the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Liberation is good if it comes as a side effect of Krishna Prema, but liberation is not to be pursued as a separate goal of life, and such sort of liberation is rejected in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Sri Rupa Goswami also composes a verse in the same line. This verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Can we sing together this time, dear devotees? Alright, let's sing together. Don't sing behind me, let's sing together. Katvam mukti rupagatasmi bhavati kasmad kasmadiha Shri Krishna smarane deva bhavati dasi padam prapita dure tishtha managanagasि katham Kuryadanaryam mai Tvad-gandhan nijanam chandana rasa lepasya lopo bhave. Prabhuji, your good name? Naresh Prabhu. Naresh Prabhu one day is sitting quietly at his home. Suddenly there is a knock on the door. Naresh Prabhu says, Katvam, who are you? From the other side of the door, a voice comes. Mukti. Who am I? Mukti. Upagatasmi. Today I have come to you, Naresh Prabhu. Naresh Prabhu is little surprised. Bhavati, kasmad, how come suddenly? So many years I was chanting Hare Krishna. One fine day you have come. So Mukti Devi says, Shri Krishna Smaranena Dev. Oh Dev, oh my Lord, by your remembrance of Shri Krishna, Bhavati Dasi Padam Prapita. I have now come as your servant. I am knocking on your door. Naresh Prabhu, kindly open the door. Naresh Prabhu, are you going to open the door? Bolo, bolo. Let's take another person, all right? Prabhuji, your good name? Achyuta? Achyut Abhay Paddas. Okay. So, Naresh Prabhu, you failed the test. Okay. Better luck next time. Achyut Abhay Pad Prabhu. Knock, knock. Who's there? Huh? This is that sort of a verse. Mukti, I have come now to become your servant. Dasi Padam Prapita. Please open the door. Achyut Abhay Pad Prabhu. What are you going to say? Yes or no? Learning from the previous mistakes. Huh? That's okay. So what? Huh? So he's suddenly Achyut Abhay Prabhu says, Dure Tisha, get out. Stay away. Manag anagasi katham. Why are you dragging me in this, unwholesome life? Kuryad anaryam mai. Why do you make me anarya? What is the meaning of arya? Gentleman. What is anarya? Not gentleman. Yeah. Tvad gandhan, if I open the door and a little bit of fragrance of you enters into my life, nija nama chandana rasa lepasya lopo bhavet, then the fragrance, sandalwood like fragrance that I have of my own name. What is your name, Prabhuji? And Achyut Abhay Pad Das. This fragrance, lopo bhave, this fragrance will be forever lost. Because as soon as impersonal liberation enters, will you remain Das? No. So dear devotees, Achyut Abhay Pad Prabhu keeps the door shut and never opens the door for Mukti. So Mukti, there are 5 types. How many types of Mukti? 5. Sarashti, Samipya, Salokya, and Sarupya, Sayujya. 5 types. Amongst these 5 types, one type is to be fully rejected. Which type is to be rejected? Sayujya, merging with the Lord. That is the Mukti knocking on the door right now. Acha. Other 4 types of Mukti. Rupa Goswami says, Atra tyajya tayai vokta mukti panchavidhapi chet. Even though all 5 types of mukti are to be rejected. But Salokyadis tathapyatra bhaktya nati virudhyate. He says in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, 4 types of mukti are not very unfavorable to bhakti. You see the attitude of Rupa Goswami. Huh? Although all 5 types of liberation are to be rejected. But, and Sayujya, merging, is to be fully rejected. But remaining 4 are not very unfavorable to bhakti. I hope you are able to understand. Huh? Can you see the importance that Sri Rupa Goswami gives to going back home, back to Godhead? So what comes first for Rupa Goswami? Going back to Godhead or developing Krishna Prema? So that is what is the first priority for all of us. And if going back to Godhead and those four types of liberation which don't involve merging in the Lord, if they are favorable for seva, that's okay. Maybe we will consider that, but otherwise not. This is the attitude with which a Gaudiya Vaishnav lives. How many of us are willing to have the same attitude as Rupa Goswami? Please raise your hands. How many of us want to have that same attitude? अरे एटलीस्ट हैव दिस, ट्राई टू हैव द सेम एटीट्यूड. हाँ, इतना बोलने के बाद 2 बार बोलना पड़ा. हाँ, रूपानु को बोले. चलो चलो, एवरीबडी रेज योर हैंड्स. ठीक है, तो वी विल टेक अ वाव नाउ. ठीक है, हाँ, एंड यू रिपीट द वाव आफ्टर मी. चलेगा? हाँ, वी विल एंड विथ अ स्वीट वाव. ठीक है, प्लीज रिपीट आफ्टर मी. No, you will still not ask for mukti. You have to ask for bhakti. Muktim dadati karichit smana bhakti yogam. 5th canto. Bhagwan, one point of time, Bhagwan will give mukti easily, but he doesn't give prema bhakti very easily. The bhakti which we are performing right now is a dhulmul bhakti. Hai. It is not actually bhakti. Actual bhakti is which bhakti? Prema bhakti. That Bhagwan is not going to give easily. He will give mukti easily, but not bhakti very easily. So dear devotees, let's take a vow today. Alright? Please repeat after me. Oh Shri Shri Radha Nil Madhav. ऐसा ऐसा मत बोलो, थोड़ा अच्छे से बोले तो सुनाई देगा. मुझे ही सुनाई नहीं दे रहा, उनको क्या सुनाई दे. ठीक है? हाँ. ओ श्री श्री राधा नील माधव. Today I take a vow that I no longer want to go back to Godhead. देखो कोई कोई बोला नहीं. हाँ. Once again, that I no longer want to go back to Godhead without your prema. ठीक है? हाँ, अब ठीक है? Now everybody is situated in the same line as Sri Rupa Goswami. चलेगा? हाँ? So please keep this always in your mind. Hanuman, all the great devotees, for them going back to Godhead is a very chota, small, insignificant result. Going back to Godhead is, if it becomes the main aim, then it is still about personal happiness. And if it is about prema, it is about Krishna's happiness. Atmendriya priti vancha tare bali kama Krishnendriya priti ichha dhari prema nama. Chaitanya Charitamrita, single paya. What a sweet conclusion. Atma Indriya Priti Vancha. If you still have the desire to please yourself. Tare Bali Kam. Shastra gives one name to it. What does Shastra say it is? Kam. Krishna Indriya Priti Ichha. But if you have developed true love for Krishna, Dhari Prema Nam. What name does it take? Prem. That is Prem, dear devotees. So what do we want to live by? Kam or Prem? Prem. That is what we want. So this is... knock, knock, who's there? I am Mukti, impersonal liberation. How come you are here suddenly? So she says, oh Lord, by your remembrance of Sri Krishna, I have decided to become your maid servant. So Prabhuji says, away, stay away. Why do you turn a completely faultless person as myself into a wretched soul? Simply by a tiny scent of you, the fragrant sandalwood paste of my own identity as Das, servant, will be completely lost. Dear devotees, please remember, this is the essential message of Sri Hanuman. This is the mood of bhakti of Sri Hanuman. Today is his appearance day. Today is Hanuman. It's not Jayanti. Okay? If I was able to clarify this point, then the class is successful. Jayanti is to be used only for whose appearance? And does all appearance days of Krishna fit into the criteria of Jayanti? No. No, not Wednesday. On Janmashtami, if the moon is aligned with which constellation? Only that particular Janmashtami becomes known as what? Jayanti. And then it is very, very much more special if it is also a what? Wednesday. Why did Krishna appear on a Wednesday? Budhvar. Shri Jiva Goswami says in Gopal Champu, Krishna appeared on Budhvar. The devotee poet Sri Harishwari in his Bhakti Rasayanam, he gives the reason why Krishna decided to appear on Wednesday. Please hear the reason. Krishna was thinking before appearance, which day should I select? So then Krishna thought, anyways, Som is my great grandfather. You know, who is Soma? Moon. So when Krishna appeared, he appeared in which family? Moon dynasty. So Som is my great grandfather. Which day has Somvar as its great grandfather, dear devotees? Wednesday's father. Immediately before Wednesday is what? Tuesday. And great grandfather. Immediately before Tuesday is what? Monday. So my grandfather is Som. And just before I appear, the entire world should experience Mangal, auspiciousness. Which day comes just before Mangal? And since I am Jagat Guru, therefore after me both Gurus should appear. Dear devotees, after Wednesday, which day appears? Brihaspativar. Brihaspati is whose Guru? And after Brihaspativar, which day appears? Shukra is whose Guru? And whenever I appear, that Shani should stay far away. And only one day fits that criteria, dear devotees. Which day fits the criteria? Budhvar. Therefore, Shri Krishna decided to appear on Budhvar or Wednesday. A very sweet realization in Bhakti Rasayanam of Sri Harishwari. Dear devotees, I'll pause at this point of time. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Acha, there are some books of Bhakti Rasayanam. If you want Hindi translation of the first 7 chapters, and in the 3rd chapter, this realization about Budhvar is mentioned. So if anybody wants the first 7 chapters of Bhakti Rasayanam translated into Hindi, so please, Param Karuna Prabhu is there. He is raising his hand. And he is Param Karuna. Matlab, he is very merciful. Alright? He lives up to his name. So you can go and ask him. He'll give you a copy. And there's no fixed price for the book, dear devotees. It's done as Brahmanical Seva. You can give any amount as you want for as Dakshina for the book. $1 or $10,000. It's all up to you, dear devotees. Okay? So it's done as a Brahmanical Seva. So any of you who wants a copy of the book, please contact Param Karuna Prabhu and he'll be happy to give you a copy of the book. This translation took 2 years for me to complete. It's a very complex commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It has all the elements of Sanskrit grammar, Nyaya, Mimamsa, everything, all expertise is required to understand the verses. So it took 2.5 years to translate, but by Bhagwan's mercy it is done. First volume is done. Hopefully second volume will be out soon. Alright, thank you very much, dear devotees. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Alright.
Prabhu, do we have time for questions?
Sure. Is there anybody in charge here? Who is? Acha, Prabhuji? Acha, Pradyumna Prabhu is in charge. Kya? So we can go till late night, Mataji, no problem. Pradyumna Prabhu is ours.
Prabhu, you can tell a time.
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes. We'll take 1 or 2 queries, please.
Okay.
You can ask.
Prabhu, so I think one of the question is we always plan and think for our own happiness. Even though after becoming devotees also, we are supposed to be thinking of Krishna's pleasure, how I can, but that's like a theoretical statement only. It doesn't always like, okay, am I happy? Am I did this thing, right? You're constantly working on your own thing. So how do we practically practice that in day-to-day life?
Achha. So how are we, we have been told that we are supposed to, give happiness to Krishna. And how do we do that in practical day-to-day life? Actually, anybody who actually starts giving happiness to Krishna, for them practical day-to-day life is, they are not people who live practical and day-to-day lives. Those people who actually give pleasure to Krishna's senses. I'll tell you one thing, Mataji, I'll give you an example of this, very simple example. Suppose there is a lady who starts expecting a child. Now, the child is in her womb and the child is growing within her womb. And then everybody tells her, you are supposed to love the child. You're supposed to love the child. When the child comes out, you're supposed to love the child. You're supposed to put the child's interest before your interest. So she says, yeah, very nice. All right, I've heard that. But now, how am I practically supposed to do that? So that will happen on the day the child is born. What changes, Mataji, on the day the child is born? Can you please tell me? You can see the child. Acha, okay. Anything else?
I can
There are many mothers who are blind. है कि नहीं?
I can touch the child, feel the
Okay.
child.
You can touch the child.
God, we should care because nobody will care of us.
Now it's no longer we should. People start caring. It's not a written textbook statement. You should care for the child. Once the child is in your hands,
But before birth, I don't know we should care. I thought my parents or my husband's parents will take care of my kid.
huh,
But as a birth, we know there's a many duties, feeding every 2 hours. There's
Yeah.
many duties.
Yeah.
After his birth, we realized actually.
yes, all right.
Yeah.
But mothers start doing it out of love after some time. So Mataji, I'd like to ask you what changes.
So you are able, okay, so you said it, the mother is blind, can't see the child. So I'm able to touch the child, and you automatically get that feeling.
The child's skin is made out of the same material as anybody else's skin in the world, Mataji. There is no difference in the chemical composition of skins. है कि नहीं? As far as I know, है ना? All skins are created equal.
So the feeling naturally comes.
Acha. Oh wow. Now we are heading in the proper direction. Huh? Mataji, let's explore this a bit. Now I think we've come to some significant point. Let's explore this a little more. Okay. How does the feeling naturally come? Chalo, I'll help you out. Okay? Because nahi to will be 9:30. Huh? Suddenly, when the child is born, the feeling arises in the mind, this is mine. This particular living entity is whose? Mine. And as soon as that feeling arises that this particular child is mine, this feeling of I and mine gets entangled with the existence of the child. And this is called mamatva. You know what is the meaning of mama, dear devotees? Me, mine. And mamatva, myness, is called as what? Mamatva. So this myness, mamatva, is also called as mamata. You know, ta and tva are same suffixes. So mamatva is the same as mamata. A mother has mamata. What is the meaning of mamata? Mineness. That is what is established as soon as the child takes birth. And once that mineness is established, then one starts putting the child's interest before one's interest. So the Upanishads explain, why does a person want to see the children happy? A person wants to see the children happy because they want to see themselves happy. Why does the living entity want to see the near and dear ones happy? Because they want to see themselves happy. Ultimately, their happiness becomes connected to our happiness because of this mamata. Now, Mataji, if the same thing happens with Shri Krishna in this life, that your mamatva gets connected to Shri Krishna in one of the four relationships, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Now, do you require a textbook statement that you should put Krishna before you? No, no. You don't require a textbook statement after that. After that, it is natural, organic, spontaneous, and doesn't require a textbook to guide you. So this is what is called rag, natural inclination, organic inclination towards Shri Krishna. Right now we are giving textbook statements. You are supposed to put Krishna before you. But we have not experienced what it is to experience mamatva. And Rupa Goswami will say in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Mamatvati Shayankita. What is Bhava Bhakti? When the heart is impressed with the warm feelings of mamatva, It is marked with the warm feelings of mamatva. Heart melts like wax and it leaves that imprints of mamatva on itself. That is when bhava bhakti has begun. And that is when all these things will happen. Before that, you have to just take the textbook statements. You are supposed to put Krishna in front of before you. Till that time, the textbook statements will be there. Once bhava bhakti is established, you won't need those textbook statements because mamatva will be established in your heart. Once you have mamatva, you automatically put the other person's interest before you. This mamatva is so important. It is so important. In other sampradayas, it has been codified in a mantra. In the Pushti Marg Sampradaya, what is the mantra? Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Acha. Why Mama? I hope you are able to understand. Why Mama? Why has Mama been put at the end of the mantra? So Sri Vallabhacharya ji also knows how important it is to establish Mamatva with Sri Krishna. That at every moment of life, he has written a Krishnashtakam in which he has said, if you are in any distress, let me always say one mantra. Which mantra? Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna is whose? Who does Shri Krishna belong to? The temple or to me? Who does Shri Krishna belong to? Me. I said, he also belongs to the temple. But more important than that, Shri Krishna belongs to whom? Me. नहीं तो क्या हो जाएगा माता जी, वो कृष्णा उधर ठीक है, मैं इधर ठीक हूँ, वो उधर मैं इधर, ऐसा हो रहा है, Krishna is there, he is happy here, I am happy here. So that gap will remain. To close that gap is to establish mamatva with Shri Krishna. And so in some sampradayas, mama has been there in the very mantra itself. So that whenever you are walking, talking, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, so that, that feeling is nourished. Every time you are in happiness, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. You are in distress, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Some relative curses you, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. The spouse chastises you, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. So everything that you, this is the mood of Pushti Marg Sampradaya. That is what you call Pushti. What is the meaning of Pushti in Pushti Marg Sampradaya? The meaning of Pushti is spontaneous nourishment of one's relationship with Bhagavan is called Pushti. And when Pushti is not present, it is called Maryada. The Shastras give you statements that you should be dedicated to Krishna. So Jivas are divided as Pushti Jivas, also known as Vaidhi Bhaktas, or Maryada Jivas, also known as Vaidhi Bhaktas, or Pushti Jivas, also known as Raganuga Bhaktas. Some are mixture of Pushti and Maryada. They are intermediate Jivas who have certain elements of Pushti, certain elements of Maryada. Sri Vallabhacharya explains all of this in Pushti, Maryada, Pravaha, Bhed. There is one literature, Shodash Granth, he explains all of this. What are the different types of living entities who surrender to Bhagavan? So, Mama is very important, Mataji. To get your ego entangled with Shri Krishna. That is very important. I hope that answers your query, Mataji. Okay? Chalo, I think it's 9:20. Abhi people will say. Okay? Let's pause here. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So dear devotees, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for taking your most valuable asset, time, which I have learned from you actually, by the way.
I don't get to use my own weapon.
Exactly. So, thank you for taking time to come to Seattle and giving your personal association. We are really, really grateful to you, Mataji and Hari, for coming and spending last 3 days and, showering us in the nectar of Ramayana Niti. So last year, practically like every day I had association, not last year, but till the time Prabhu and continuing association of Prabhu through online classes. He has given wonderful classes on Shri Upadesharamrita. 60 classes for just 11 verses. Every word he has explained in so much detail, and more than 1500 questions he has answered. Very patiently answering all those questions. I would highly recommend all of you to take Association of Prabhu through those classes, which is available on YouTube. But the best part of it is Prabhu will always, teach us to take shelter of the message given by our predecessor Acharya, especially Srila Rupa Goswami and Goswamis of Shiv, all the other Goswamis. So this has been the one thing which I understood and deeply trying to contemplate and apply is taking or presenting something on the base of the Shastra Praman and developing our faith on the basis of Shastra. Very, very important. So thank you, Prabhu, for cultivating this in all of us. And also on the appearance day of Shri Hanumanji, concluding the class on a very high note, glorifying two great devotees, Shri Vibhishan and Shri Hanumanji. I thank you so much. But this is not the end. This is just a break of month and a half. Prabhu is coming back in June. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah. At this time it was Ramayana. Ramayana is, I'll be honest, it's not my specialty, but I tried.
If this is try, then you know.
Yeah. In June I'll speak about Rup Goswami. All right. So that is my
home ground,
Prabhuji. All right. So in June we'll try to have something from Sri Rupa Goswami, Padyavali, or some other topics, but that is very close to my heart. But because this was a special series of talks requested for this particular week, and so I was happy to speak on Shri Ramayana. Although I tried to find commentaries on Ramayana which are like Bhakti Rasayanam, but there are no commentaries on Ramayana like Bhakti Rasayanam. I wish there could be. There are no commentaries on Ramayana like Bhakti Rasayanam, but it makes me happy that 10th canto of Krishna Leela has such a wonderful commentary in the form of Bhakti Rasayanam, and Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So many commentaries. So in June, I promise.
So it should be longer than the 3 days. At least.
There are 2 days, but we'll have some good sessions, Prabhuji. All right.
Thank you so much for accepting.
Thank you so much.
But we are looking forward to your next visit.
18-19 June.
18-19. Right?
Yeah, 18-19 June.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So before I conclude this, if anybody would like to have the book Bhakti Rasayanam translation, actually I don't understand Hindi. I mean I understand, but I'm looking forward to the English version
by the end of the
year.
Yes,
Prabhu has promised, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So let's chant Hari Bol 3 times to honor His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu. Together, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.